Like, do they actually change colour if they've been picked for a month?
Yeah. So they start off like green.
Yeah.
And then the red slowly comes up. And when I cut it in half, it looked like a watermelon kind of salmon kind of colour.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful, but yeah, more so it's brighter on the inside than it is on the outside.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. So that's Burpee's Long Keeper, and how did one of the things that like when we did our tomato taste test and Green Zebra came out top, I was a bit disappointed about that because it might be the best tasting one, but there's lots of other things about it that aren't so good. So if from the trial we've done this year, how would you rate, like, how, I mean, we've got a big range there. Some of them are paste tomatoes and some of them are cherry tomatoes, and we haven't got all of our best tomatoes there, but we had a good number of them. What would you rate as being something that not only tastes good, but something that is a really heavy cropper, a good cropper, as well as just kind of one that you go for, like?
Well, I reckon actually the Burbank it's really chunky. They're really good. They're firm. They don't go squishy really quick. Like they don't ripen really quick.
Do they sometimes tomatoes like that don't taste as good?
I like that one. There's another one. Yeah.
I mean, it's more similar to some of our other best favourite ones like Watermouth, and we didn't grow this year.
And I also reckon I'm actually coming to understand why Wonder is called Wonder. Because it actually is really sweet, and yeah, it was one of the first to crop, and has cropped for a really long time, and I just got huge, like 13 kilos off from yesterday.
How does it taste?
The Wonder?
Yeah.
The Wonder's really sweet. They're just quite beautiful. Hang on, I'll just wash them.
They go different colours almost when they're fully ripe, don't they? They have more than one colour in them.
They kind of go translucent, really.
Yeah, and they have a sort of a pinky, reddy, orangey.
Yeah, there are some that have gone that.
This is Burbank.
Yeah.
Burbank was one of America's most famous plant breeders. He was a psychic plant breeder. So I always look at carefully at anything that he came up with. And I would expect that not to taste super good because it's quite firm. It's almost like one that's been...
yesterday.
Okay, so it'll probably get even better.
Yeah.
It tastes pretty good. But usually these are the tough ones are like the ones that were bred for transport around the world.
Yeah, long keeping.
It does feel quite firm and tough, but if it's only just been picked, then it'll get softer. But it does taste really good. It doesn't taste like a shop tomato at all. This is one of the ones from Henry Harrington's collection in Southland, the Wonder. Yeah, they've got really good flavour, eh?
I didn't like them at the start, but now, I don't know.
It's the first one to crop. They're random, the shapes. They always have big ones and small ones and all different kinds of shapes and lobed and everything, but they're really heavy croppers and they're the earliest to crop.
And they just really produce heaps.
Huge croppers. Yeah, we're collecting figures on how much how many kilos each plant is producing, and we haven't finished picking them yet, so we won't know for another month or so or even more, but they're obviously a heavy cropper. Okay, and so what I was going to say about the Green Zebra is that you can't just go by what something tastes like, whether you choose it to grow it in your own garden, because they might be the best tasting, but if they're the hardest to grow and they have a really small crop, then you're not going to choose them. And that was something that I always notice about these new Wonder healthiest tomatoes. We tried Earl of Edgecombe this year, which is meant to be the latest, healthiest, most nutritious tomato, and it's the worst tomato by miles in our grow-out, health-wise.
Most affected by psyllid, and they're just kind of not stunted, but they just look like they could have grown a lot more. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a New Zealand heirloom, so that always makes a really big difference, and maybe if we grew it here for a long time, we could build its health up in our environment and in our climate and soils. But right now, I just wouldn't choose it, even if it was meant to be the nutritious. I'd choose something that was actually going to produce a crop.
Well, it's almost like it doesn't want to be chosen as well, because when I cut it open to take out the seeds, it's only got like a couple of seeds in each one, so
it's going to be